recording now.
Where are you? It's not the recording that I'm asking for. Where are you guys? What have you been able to do since Tuesday?
Well, unfortunately, I have to say I haven't been able to do anything since Tuesday, unfortunately.
Is that the same for everybody else?
I took permission just a few days out because I have work exam. That's why I haven't been in class. So I took myself out from contributing to work so I don't delay things. So I don't have a submission.
Okay. So that means it's the same story for all of you then, right? Nobody has done anything.
No, unfortunately not.
All right. So who wants to do a recap of what we did on Tuesday for me? Because I need to finish up. We need to finish up on the framework today. Who wants to do a recap of what we did on Tuesday? Or nobody was there? You guys were not there on Tuesday?
So on Tuesday, one of the things that you looked at the homework we had done, and you said that it was too detailed for like a new say agile manager who's come on a project, because he had too much expectation and too much expectation and too much information based on the framework that we were putting together for Blue Sky.
Okay. I didn't talk about too detailed. I just said the information, you had too much information on it. And the too much information that you had on it, I said would make it become waterfall. You remember? If you see that, so, and then we started and we looked at the stages that you had. And I said to you that my expectations is that you have just 3 stages. If you are not able to manage 3 stages at all, then maximum you shouldn't have more than 4. That was the conversation we had. Huh?
Yeah.
And then I treated the 3rd stage because it was from the last one you presented. I said I wanted to take it from the 1st stage, but the way you presented it, I treated the 3rd stage and I dissected it for every one of you. I'm not going to go into that. If you have any question about it, can you please ask now so that we then treat the 1st stage and the 2nd stage? Is it all clear? Or is it that you don't really understand what we've done yet?
I know we ran out of time as well because the call had to end. So I don't completely understand like what you're saying about the final stage as well. So yeah, not completely clear.
So you're the only one talking. Does that mean other people were not on the call on that day? Apart
I
from
wasn't on the call on Tuesday. Yeah, so I'm gonna catch up with the video, and I don't want to hold people up and things. But from what you said, to move on, if I have any specific questions, I'll go through the mentors, Ken first. Okay, so that's my plan to catch up. So that's why I'm not saying anything.
Lorita, you were on the call on that day, right?
Yes, Femi, I was on the call.
Isaac, you were on the call, right? All right. I can't hear Isaac. All right. Please bring up what you have, because by today, what I expected you to do is to have worked on what you presented to me. But if you haven't done anything, then that's not good enough. That's not good enough at all. Can you share with me what you have?
Yeah, one moment.
I'm waiting. So we looked at this, guys, and we spoke about the fact that if we have it, just as we have it here, and we have all these loads of steps that we have on it, it would be tantamount to having like waterfall, because there's a lot that we would have to do in it. So we then said, if we look at the first steps, like I said, some of the things that you have there, you haven't rearranged it, I believe. Based on the response I gave to you, I expected by today you would have worked on it so that it can make sense to everyone when we're talking. So if you look at the first stage, the first step that you have here, I said it can just be discovery. We don't need to say project scope and discovery. Please don't correct things when I'm training. You can't do that. You can take notes and be doing that later. And please don't do that when your stakeholders, if you are presenting to your stakeholders and they are doing something, you can't be correcting slides in front of them. Slide is meant for presentation. You can take note and go back later and correct it, except if you are typing words. Let's say you are taking meeting notes, then you can easily correct that. But when it's something you've prepared as slides, you don't do that in front of them. Okay? So if we have discovery, what did we say we need to do at the discovery phase? Guys, if we have a discovery, this is the discovery phase. What do we need to do at the discovery phase? Who can remind me? Let's talk now. What do we need to do at the discovery phase? Hmm?
So the scope of the project.
Okay, you obtain scope statement. Fantastic. Scope statement. So, but we don't have that here. the first thing that we have here is project plan. Is it project plan if we're working in Agile? Is it project plan that we need first? Kemi, is it what project plan we need first? Isaac, is it project plan you need first?
No, the first thing you want to do is to, like you said, the scope statement and start to think about doing a feasibility, some kind of feasibility study. Just thinking because you want to be sure that that's why the discovery is the initiative you're looking at. Is it feasible? Is it viable? Those would be the first things you would be doing. In discovery.
Fantastic. So under your discovery, the first thing you want to do is you want to obtain the scope statements. When you understand the scope of work, if there are research that needs to be done, we spoke about UX UI researcher. You remember? That's when we do that. That would lead us into the persona definition that we do. And we touched on persona definition. Who can remind me what a persona definition is?
I don't know the specific definition, but you usually use it to identify who I think it's the users of your end product. They're like actors or something. What is it how would they interact with the end product, or what is it that they need from it? Something like that. I have an idea
Okay.
what it is, seen it before, but I don't know the description.
So I taught you this last week, guys, and I showed you sample. I think on Tuesday I also touched on it, that a persona is a fictitious character that we use to depict our customers, our targeted audience. Who are the people that we're targeting with this product? Where are they? We want to talk about the demographics. We want to talk about the age. We want to talk about their pain points. We want to talk about their motivation. Then we want to talk about the touch points. How do we touch them? How can we reach them? And you remember I gave an example. I said, if you want to reach young people, would you be reaching them on the website? Is it web? What's the best way to reach young people?
Online.
Online where?
Social
How?
media.
Social media.
Social media. Yes. By using mobile on social media, if we want to use social media, you know that you have to be mobile first strategy, isn't it? Because with the social media, you find them mostly on their mobile devices, isn't it?
Correct.
Right? So you want to know, but if it's adult, even now, adults are doing all of these on their mobile. So you need to know who it is we're targeting. What's the touch point? Which means how can we touch them? How can we easily reach them? What sort of mobile are they using? The most people that you're using, what's the browser? What applications? Are they Android? Are they iOS? Those are some of the things that we carry out when we're doing our persona definition. And that is the persona definition that then leads us into the project charter. Either you have you have what we call the business case. You draw up your business case based on your findings. So either the business case or the project charter will be derived from that angle. knowing fully well that now we know what we're doing and we know who is who and what. And I said, if you want to step further to do any more thing, apart from that, that's fine. You can, if you want to give us PID, you want to give us the benefit review, that's left to you. But it's important for us to track it and trace it down in that way so that it will make sense to anybody that looks at what we have. And then you can say, oh, we've done stage one, we've done well on it. Now, then we move to stage two. At the stage two, don't forget, now we know what we want. We know who is going to use it. We know exactly. So at the first stage, product vision is already clear from product perspective. So when we get to the second stage, we can then decide that, okay, you know what? This second stage, what we want to do here is to go into the design of it, or don't forget, in Agile, we work iteratively. We're not just going to design once and say, that's it, we've designed. And that's what is wrong with us thinking we'll plan just once and leave it. No, we keep planning in Agile. So by the time we get to the second stage, it could be that now we have what our epic is. Now we want to now set up the features from the epic. We want to set up different features. I'll give you an example. I don't know what car you guys drive, but let's say maybe it's a Range or a Mercedes, all right? You have a particular Mercedes that you want to talk about. That's an epic. If you say GLC 350, that's an epic. In GLC 350, there are different features, isn't it? Talk to me, guys.
Yes, there are.
Yes.
Thank you. There are different features. What are some of the features that we have? What are the features that we have in a
Alloy
car?
wheels, maybe in the car
Uh-huh.
or around it. Alloy wheels.
I've given an example of GLE 350 now, right? Thank you. Alloy wheel. Uh-huh.
Let
Self-driving electric.
Self-driving. Those are features. I'm listening.
leather seats.
The seats. Uh-huh. That's a feature.
Electric.
What do you mean by electric?
EV, electric vehicle. Electric feature, like rather than a combustion
Okay, you
engine.
want it to be, okay. Well, that's a feature. Good. Any other one?
Would that count as a feature? The parking assist at the car.
Pardon?
Parking assist. That's what I know that they call it. The cameras that the cars come with.
I know parking assist. Yeah. The car itself, you've not talked about different parts of the car. The body of the car, the engine of the car, the mirror, the doors. You've not talked about all of those, right?
Okay, the doors, the side mirrors, the steering wheel.
Because those are the different things that make up the car. There are some people that when they see a car, you really don't need to tell them the spec of the car. By looking at the lights, they can tell you, oh, that car, that's the brand so XYZ. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, absolutely. You can even go into deeper features, like when you have like AMG or something.
Exactly. So, but you see, all those features now, we need to create those features on their own, isn't it? So we have the epic, we have the features, then we're going to have user stories. And that's why on that second stage, it's got to be that we start to build our product backlog. We build the product backlog. If this is where we want to make sure that we do the work as well, then it means after building the product backlog, what do we do? Okay? Does it make sense, guys?
Yes.
So we look at that, we look at the story, then this is where we're going to start to then check, okay, our stories are ready. We start to sprint, we start planning, we then plan the sprint and things like that. And as we're doing the work, the developers are developing, the testers are testing. We're moving in the loops together. And there are other activities that will be going on there. Because at this stage, we need to have the status reports, like the report that you'll be doing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
So those are some of the things that I was given to you as a guide. And then after we've concluded that, and we know that, okay, now we've worked on the product, that's when we go into deploying the product, putting the product in customers' hands. Okay? All right, guys?
Yeah.
So
this is
what
why.
I said to you, pardon?
No, just asking that. That's why you said we should have 3 stages rather than 4.
I said I would prefer that you
Mm.
have 3 stages. I said, but if